We got asked to pay $500 for a podcast intro, and once again, we declined to pay. So this week, we decided to invest the money into a social media course that we've given to our team to go through. You're listening to Just 3 Clicks, and this is episode number 3. I'm Joey Soto.
I'm Jamie Garside. Welcome.
Welcome back to episode 3. It's me and Jamie again on this one. We had David on the last one. So if you haven't heard him, make sure you go back and listen to those ones.
Yeah, it's probably important actually to start from the beginning if you've picked up, because I suppose when you go through the podcast list, there'll be some quite interesting looking titles. And I know I do it on podcasts. You kind of look through and think, all right, that title, I'm going to listen to that one. But in this particular, I would say for this particular podcast, it's probably good to listen to at least the first two so you get an idea of kind of who we are, what it's all about.
Yeah, definitely.
And it'll all make more sense.
Pull the mic in slightly closer.
There.
Yeah, that's it. Bend it so it's towards your face. That's it. Where we at? Okay. So today...
Yeah. What are we talking about today?
All right. We'll take it again. In the last one, we basically spoke about kind of getting the MVP together. So that was more of the kind of technical side where David was kind of going over like how you guys had the development team put together like the basic kind of version of videos. But I thought today we should probably talk about like the actual marketing and how we sold it.
Yeah. I suppose everything, we've said this so many times as well in meetings, affiliates, our affiliate networks pay like essentially made up a big part. Well, I suppose it helped us launch this business, didn't they?
Maybe we should explain, like, but for
is.
anybody that doesn't know what an affiliate is, what is that?
Yeah, because I suppose if we start there as well, it'll make sense to why we do certain things on a launch. So we have, when we spoke in previous episodes, for anyone that's not listened to the previous episodes, go and check them out. You'll know that we have a background, all of us, of selling digital products. So I mentioned the Warrior Forum. Now, what happens within these kind of circles in this industry, for anybody that doesn't know, is you work with other people that sell digital products and you would help each other, generally down to, someone might be releasing a course that, as an example, I mentioned on the episode I was on and explained what I kind of created as far as digital products. I created digital products that help people sell to local businesses. So I would find other people doing the same thing in different ways. And if they had a course that showed people how to sell to local businesses in a slightly different way from what I was doing, and I like the strategy, the idea, I would then tell my subscribers, my followers, to go and actually purchase that course because it's worth it, and then I would get paid a commission. And in that case, I would be the affiliate. That's what an affiliate is.
Yeah. So like, I guess on like a higher level, it's like if you're like someone like a game shop and you sell, the latest PlayStation and Xbox games. If you're essentially, the affiliate is like the game shop and the vendor is like the PlayStation or the Xbox, basically.
Yeah.
So that's, I guess that's the position of the two things. And then I guess what it was like, we all kind of had our own businesses before this, like you said. Like I had a bunch of affiliates that already were selling my courses because I used to create courses for anybody that hasn't heard the previous. But what we did was I built up a whole selection of people that would continuously sell my courses. And then these guys already had a portion of people as well. So,
what was good as well about that is because we were kind of in a similar industry and we kind of crossed paths in some ways, our affiliate networks differed, which helped. Because again, with Mabellio, which I'd started with David and we had that business going on when we kind of got together for Viddyoze. Again, our affiliate network was essentially other marketers, product creators within the local space, i.e. offline. They were all helping teach people how to get out there and build agencies, businesses that sold to local businesses. Whereas that affiliate network we'd built up didn't do anything with you, for example. Your affiliate network was heavily those that were interested in creating video.
Yeah, there's a couple of people like Neil Bosley was one of the guys. I think Squeeze Moby guys.
Yeah, we worked a bit with them.
I didn't have a relationship with those guys, and they were quite quite
big at the time. Yeah, I mean they actually. I mean, we'll get onto this more as well when we talk about the launch. But I think they were some of the first within our industry that dropped off a webinar, and that'll
really?
make no sense to anybody listening right now, but it will make sense as we go through kind of how a launch happens. And I suppose now we've explained kind of what an affiliate is.
Yeah, so
we can talk about kind of how we then build an event around that.
Yeah. So everything basically comes down to creating a release window, you could call it. Like any product that a business goes and launches, it's like there's got to be a release date, like an iPhone or whatever. The way we did it is like, as the product was being built, like that MVP product was being built, the other part of the job was going and making sure that people are actually going to sell this thing when the day comes.
Yeah.
So the way we do it is first, you set a launch date. So, right, we're going to go September 29th. We're going to get all of our affiliate partners that we've got relationship with to go and basically email their customers and say, look, guys, there's a brand new product on the market. It's called Viddyoze. You should go check it out. So then everybody gets an email at 11 o'clock. Everyone then goes to the landing page, the sales page or whatever, and buys at the exact same time. So you've got, what ends up happening is you end up getting like hundreds and hundreds of sales at the same time because you've got all these people basically emailing thousands of people at the same time, basically. So it's a pretty effective method, really. And I don't think it's really like used as much as it could be.
No. I think it's because our networks were big, but again, even the early ones, you'll probably remember on some of your early ones, there was that much traffic hitting sites, it would take sites down. So these events weren't known publicly. It was more within circles, some newsletters, and membership sites and things like that. But there was that many people basically saying you need to go and buy this product. Way before Viddyoze, when we were just doing some of our own stuff, you would take sales pages down within seconds because there was that much traffic hitting the actual pages.
There's pros and cons to it as well. Like obviously, the pros is that we basically don't have to pay for the traffic coming to the site.
No.
So that was always good. But the downside to it was like, you would only basically, this is the downside to affiliate traffic. It's like, if your affiliates go and email the customers, basically they're going to email their customers for 2 or 3 days. So you get traffic for 2, 3, maybe 4 or 5 days if you get a bit of lingering traffic, people opening their emails a bit later. But then once that traffic dies off, then that's it basically. You don't have any more.
It's not evergreen.
Traffic. Yeah, there's no longevity to that model. And I think a lot of people that are from our previous market of like the affiliate market struggle with that.
Yeah.
And I think that's why people sometimes taper off with their products because they don't have ongoing
sustainable
sales.
Traffic and sustainable sales.
I mean, we had that problem for ages. Like for years.
I think one of the things we fixed that was to find affiliates that were selling pretty well within, because that 4-day event which we do and we have everybody mailing, you tend to see, as you know, from 1,000 affiliates, there'd only be a really small portion of them that actually made the portion of the sales, or the majority of the sales, and the rest would be maybe 1 or 2 sales here and there. So what we found over doing this many times was we were able to spot, right, these particular marketers send a lot of sales, they have quite a lot of influence, let's work with them more closely. And that's where we can do things like we do now, where we set up longer deals, and keep the traffic evergreen and consistent.
So obviously you need affiliate partners, so i.e. you need people that are actually going to sell it. But then we also got to talk about where do they actually send these people. So that's where all of your marketing collateral basically comes in. So you obviously need like a sales page, so somewhere where you can have a buy button, you can actually sell the product on that page and say, go and buy my thing basically.
You need an affiliate network.
Yeah, an affiliate network. So the ones that we typically use is like either Viddyoze, that's what we've used in the past, and ClickBank is another one that's really big.
Pay Kickstart as well.
Yeah, Pay Kickstart's what we use now currently, which is a really good platform. So those are a few where you can go and get stuff. But I think if you're brand new and you're in the money-making, marketing industry, I think Viddyoze is a really nice place to start.
It might be worth explaining how these networks kind of work. Why do you need an affiliate network? 'Cause I know we know what it is, but there might be people listening that
so it's like a... basically, the network allows you to manage all the affiliates you get. So if I go to Jamie and say, hey, Jamie, I want you to basically sell my product, Jamie will then have to go and sign up on Viddyoze, where I've essentially created my product on Viddyoze. So I've created my listing, is what you call it. and then Jamie will go and get his affiliate link, which is what he has to go and send to his customers to sell my product. So JVZoo basically facilitates that whole process, makes it all easy and
handles all the
streamlined.
payments and all of that as well,
Yeah,
transactions.
so
And
any money that's owed to Jamie, like JVZoo can go and track all that stuff. And then basically when you go and actually make your marketing material, your sales pages and stuff, you just basically put the JVZoo tracking pixels and stuff on the page. So all the traffic that comes to your pages, JVZoo will do the job of making sure that the right people get paid for the traffic and that kind of thing. So it just attributes the sales basically.
yeah.
Um,
So with all of that, so we've got the affiliate network, you've got your pages, and then the way we did it is, or I suppose that one of the best ways to do it, it's all on scarcity, isn't it? That's essentially what it's all about. It's about building something, an event where it's happening once, it's going to be available this one. I mean, this happens in every industry. I know, for example, I'm a gamer, as you are, and I'm playing Modern Warfare at the minute, and they have... Within everyone knows about in-app game purchases, but I've spotted something that they do, which I really like, and again, it all comes down to this scarcity stuff, makes you spend money, is they have this in-app, these in-app purchases where you can buy, for anybody that plays Modern Warfare, you'll know, but these gun blueprints. And all they are is you basically purchase it. It can be anywhere from $10, $20, and you get this special gun with all this special... imagery on it and all of that, but they do it based off of scarcity. So they'll have all the imagery up for this special gun that it's going to make you better in the game. But it's only there for an X amount of time, so you've got to take action right now. Almost like Black Friday as well. That's a big one that everybody knows about.
Yeah, Black Friday is like the best example.
Yeah, it is.
Because what happens is like when you create scarcity, for some reason in our human psychology, the weird creatures we are, we basically wait until the last minute to buy something for some reason. And what we notice by doing this is, typically we will create a 4-day window for our customers and for the affiliates to say, look, you can buy our special deal for Viddyoze for 4 days. Then we'll have good sales on the opening day. The second day kind of like is good but slows down. The third day typically like is not so hot. But then the last day, all of a sudden, you're sometimes doing more than you would do on the first day, because all of a sudden everyone's going back to that email and saying, I've only got an hour left or 2 hours left to basically buy the special deal. So that's why those offers work quite well, I think.
Yeah. So we launched on the 29th of September 2015.
Yeah.
And then it closed on the 2nd. It's probably worth as well maybe talking a bit about the run-up, because it is all about the hype, I suppose, for these types of launches. I know at that time, I mean, it seems like a long time ago. I suppose it's like 4 years now. I mean, there's so much to cover. Like, as far as that launch day window, what sort of stuff did we build up at that time? I know we had the pre-launch stuff, and we shot some videos in London, didn't we? That was the first time we met actually there in person.
Yeah, it was quite a weird moment actually. I probably shouldn't say this really, but what basically happened was like I just got to this. This is a side story, but basically like we were supposed to shoot like this video. To give you some context, right? When you go and get affiliates and you go and recruit, and you call it affiliate recruitment, you need to go and find people that are going to sell your product. So if you're starting from scratch, you literally might not have a network. Like we already had a network. But if you're brand new, there are ways that you can go and get affiliates, and we'll cover that in another episode, that just on that. But essentially, you have to go through a process of bringing affiliates in. Now, one way that in which you can do that is you can record these really cool affiliate videos. So it's kind of like a pitch for the affiliate. So it's like, hey, this is my product. This is why you should sell it. If you do sell it, your customers are going to get something cool, and also I'm going to pay you like X amount of dollars if you make sales. So you're basically pitching the idea of them selling the product. So we call it like an affiliate video or a JV video, which is short for joint venture. So we were going to shoot our affiliate video in London. And like it was the first time I was basically meeting David and Jamie, and we'd driven up to London. These guys drove down to London from Manchester, and like it was a long drive for me to get into London, because I live on the outskirts of London, and like getting into central London can take hours.
I think we came down on the train. I think we got down quicker from
Yeah.
Preston, Lancaster in the northwest of England than you did just outside of London.
Yeah, well, anyway, like I had drinking a lot of water before, taking the car into central London. I had to take the car because I had to carry all the equipment. Otherwise, I would have taken a train. So anyway, we got there. I parked up in the parking lot, and I was basically waiting around. You guys weren't there just yet. And I thought, well, you know what? Like, I really need to I need to go for a piss, basically.
Yeah.
So like, I had to just like, I was like kind of in the corner, like near my car, just kind of like relieving my pain. And like I could hear the footsteps and the small chatter of David and Jamie walking around the corner whilst I was stood there with my essentially just relieving myself. And then basically I just had to like rush myself and go sit back in the car to that kind of get myself back in order before we introduced ourselves. So that was really awkward.
Did you wash your hands when we shook hands?
Well, I didn't have a chance. So like that.
No, we didn't even know about that till after. So
yeah, I know.
You kind of hid that pretty well.
That was an odd moment. But anyway, back to the point. Is like we basically recorded an affiliate video at that time that basically told the story of like me, David, and Jamie coming together. We've got this really big idea, and we want you, the affiliate, to basically support this, jump on board. You know, we're all basically we already were in the industry anyway, so people kind of knew us a little bit, and we had a decent reputation. So then it was like we've put our skills together, and now we're going to go and make this amazing product, and we just basically sold the idea. I suppose.
Yeah, do you know what is a really good point as well to bring up on that? So when we shot that video, which is really important, because it's almost that video essentially is as important as your actual sales video for these types of events, just because of the fact that if you don't have the affiliate drive, unless you're driving traffic through your own pay-per-click or whatever, but if you want to follow a model where you use affiliates and they're going to drive to this event, you need to get as many affiliates on board and as much hype as possible and commitment from them to actually, commit to your event and commit to that product.
Yep.
When we shot that video, we thought about, and again, you would have thought at the time because you were the guy that was good with all of the video, the camera. We thought about how that video was going to look, and we actually put time and a lot of effort into making it look better than anything else that within our industry at the time actually looked. And to everybody else, it looked, this is incredible. Like, this is an unbelievable video. We'd not shot anything like this before. But all we did to make that happen was an Airbnb, and which looked really cool. And again, this is a good point to anybody creating these types of videos. You see, if you're pitching a video and you want to get on camera, we see within our industry, but so many industries, I mean, you see it all over LinkedIn, of people just stood in front of a whiteboard, or people just stood in front of a green screen, a white background, whatever. And almost it's that impression of I need to look professional, but to me that doesn't look professional. It just looks cheap. It looks like, and again, people may not have the resources to make things look all elaborate.
It's like you're trying to be Apple, basically.
Yeah. And the thing is, it looks better if you have a different backdrop. You have a bit of something else going on in the video. I prefer watching somebody talking on a busy street than I would stood in a room with a white background. And that's what we did with, and again, a tip for that is look to see if you can find, a house or, I mean, we've done Airbnbs all around the world, like Miami, everywhere, these huge houses, which you might not want to do a huge house, but you can find really quirky little things. I mean, that Manchester one for Branda was cool, wasn't it? And again, just having something different, it just brings a whole new vibe to the video.
Yeah, so I think what Jamie's saying is like, it's just that initial content that you create when it comes to releasing your product. Like, I think a lot of businesses, right, will put so much time into like creating marketing material for their product. So let's say it's a different SaaS company. It's like, right, we're going to do a free trial, which we didn't do. And it's like, we need to make a sales page, a landing page, get copywriters and all of that stuff, which is obviously fine, whatever. But then what they don't think about is how they're going to sell the thing, like how they're going to get people to it. And that's why this model is so good. And that's why we put all the energy into creating content for actually not just for the customers, but also for the people that are going to sell the product in the first place. Yeah. It's really important. So I think thinking outside the box in terms of how you shoot that kind of content is important. You could go to a parking lot, like a dead parking lot, and put a chair in the middle of the parking lot.
Viddyoze 2.0 was, do you remember that one? We did it. We had an office in Bolton. I mean, I'm fast forwarding a little bit, but when we ran another event for Viddyoze in June 2016, one of the best performing videos we had was that video, and it was basically me on camera walking around the car park at the back of a rundown office.
Yeah.
And like, if you'd have seen that area in person, you'd have thought, you can't shoot a video here, but we shot a video there and it performed really well.
Yeah, yeah. So it's just about being different to what everyone else is doing, I guess. So yeah, so that's essentially your affiliate video. So you would basically go to a affiliate network like JVZoo or PayKickstart, whichever one you choose, and you would start the process of finding affiliates. You know, make sure you've got a launch date so you can go and actually tell these people, look, we're going to be launching on X day, X time, whatever. And then start making material for your affiliates, get them excited about the launch and let them know that something's going to happen. And then aside from that, you're pretty much just needing the actual material for the actual launch, so your sales page and your sales funnel, if you're going to have a sales funnel, which is probably a good point.
In fact, this probably ties in as well to one other thing, is incentivizing affiliates, which is kind of a big thing as well, where, I mean, people may be wondering, so if somebody sells our product, what do you pay them? How do they get paid? Well, we worked on and it sounds massive, and to anybody that looks at any sort of affiliate network in general, we pay 50% on those sales, which is a massive incentive for somebody to sell. And there's rhyme and reason behind why we do this, and we'll get into that. But the other thing is as well, we incentivize affiliates on the JV page and as part of the event to actually commit to selling our product, essentially.
Yeah,
the product needs to be good. I mean, that's first and foremost, but there are little things you can do extra, like an affiliate contest. And I mean, what have we done on that? Tons of different things on that.
Yeah, like I think, we've done it on a big scale where we've given away, $20,000, $30,000 in just cash prizes. So an affiliate contest could be like, right, who are the top 10 affiliates who sold the product over the 4 days? Who was number 1, 2, all the way through to 10? And you would basically pay them a different price based on where they land in the position, known as like a spot prize or whatever. That's something you could do if you've got the money for it. If you don't, though, there's other things you could do. You could pay a lot less. So
yeah.
You could have like, a couple of $1,000 that you're going to distribute between 3 to 5 people instead of 10.
Yeah.
You could give away your other products. You could give away T-shirts. You could give away gifts. And
there's certain things you can do as well. We never did it where we just decided we were confident on the launches, and it was, I mean, you as if you're doing one of these, you're gonna be able to see the kind of hype building around your own product and how much interest from affiliates you've got, so you'll know how confident you can be with this type of thing. But you can also do minimums as well. We've never really been a fan of minimums, but it's just because it's just the way we've done it without. But there are, you can, say, right, I'm gonna put $5,000 in the pot for all my affiliates to sell this product over a 4-day period, let's say, hypothetically, and the top 10 affiliates are going to share that $5,000 between them, top getting most, bottom less. Obviously, it incentivizes them to do it, but you can do it on minimum sales, so that if an affiliate at the top has to do a minimum of, say, 50 sales, and then yourself that you're always going to cover those prizes.
Yeah.
So you're never going to be out of pocket.
Yeah, so you could say, like, you got to do 50. If you do 50 sales, as long as you clear 50 sales, then you can win $1,000, for instance, or something like that. Yeah, that's definitely a good way to do it. I think I did it that way on my first one, actually.
Definitely, when you're starting out, that's probably kind of a wise thing to do.
Yeah. You just got to be sure you're going to make more. You're gonna be able to cover that money with the actual release of the product.
Yeah.
And if you've got affiliates, honestly, like if you've got 50, 60 affiliates, and the product and everything is good, the positioning's okay, the copy's good, then you should be able to probably cover it at a very least.
I think you've got to have kind of a long-term view on this as well. So and again, we probably did have with Viddyoze, and we didn't in some ways, because when we first came for the first Viddyoze, it was like, right, cool product, built it, amazing, it's probably the first of its kind to do this. Let's get it out there, and then we'll make a ton of money and we'll support it moving forward. And then it obviously took off its own path. But you've got to look at it longer term. So you might think, well, I don't want to spend $5,000 on an affiliate prize. That makes no sense. I've made no money with my product. This is, the launch of my product.
Yeah.
But you've got to be looking at, so if you hit a launch and you build hype and you do pay, prize money and all of this stuff, you're going to have a bank of customers, hopefully. That's the end goal after the fact, that you can then build out a product like we've done with Viddyoze, essentially.
Yeah, definitely.
It's not just about the launch, it's about what you can do after when you've got these customers.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing as well. Like when you're giving away 50%, I mean, there's been instances where we've given 80% and even 100%.
100%, yeah.
Because we know that the long term play is, we're going to use those customers to make more money, basically. And that's an interesting thing there that we could mention here is, you want to be looking at how you can actually create a sales funnel as opposed to just a page where you're just taking payments for one single product.
Yeah.
Like what we do with Viddyoze is we have a 2-part funnel basically. So when you go to viddyoze.com, you'll see we have a price point of, I think it's at the time of recording this, I think it's $127 for our main license, which is a commercial license, or $97 for
on
the
the
personal
personal
license. So we'll talk about why those prices make sense in another episode probably, or maybe a little bit later today. But the what we're saying here is like, you have your main offer, so that's $127, and what we do for that is we give away 150 templates on the product. So that's your basic license that gives you access to the core product. As soon as somebody buys that, we upsell them to the template club, which is $37 a month, and all they get with that is they just get more templates every single month, and they unlock every single template that we've ever created, basically.
Yeah.
So that's
a couple of extra features and stuff as well.
Yeah,
which is worth mentioning.
So yeah, that's probably another way in which we essentially pull more money out of
and then we have the agency as well, which is, and I mean, this actually doesn't appear in all of our sales funnels, but it does in some, where we have then another level of the product. And I suppose this comes back to, if we take it all to the SaaS industry in general, and you think about most SaaS companies that launch, they'll go with a free trial. I mean, every SaaS company, any type of SaaS platform we use within the business probably started with a free trial. We just don't have it, and it's almost like a reverse free trial. We're actually being paid for the customer, and then we've got the upsell. But again, a normal sales funnel would be free trial, use the product, and then upsell to the monthly or the annual or whatever most SaaS companies do. We do the same thing, but we have a paid front end.
Yeah, and the reason that we obviously do that is it kind of alludes to what I said earlier about, when you do the affiliate model, they're going to send traffic for about 3 or 4 days. So, you get paid for a couple of days.
Yeah.
And that's fine. We made $450,000 over that 4-day window when affiliates were mailing their customers. But then we also ended up doing, I think it was $1 million in recurring revenue forecasted for the year. And that's because we had a recurring element, and we were creating an MRR to our business by having a $37 a month upsell, basically.
Yep. So I suppose with a paid front end, you sacrifice users. Like there's obviously SaaS platforms out there that would have millions of users, whereas we don't have millions of users. We've got a lot of users, like 100,000 users, but those users are all paid, so they've all paid to be a part of our platform. And the flip side of that as well, if we take it to the whole SaaS industry itself, people talk about raising investment at a very early stage. People build an MVP. This is the standard thing. Build an MVP, go out there, build a pitch deck, and try and get people to give you money to launch it.
Yeah.
We basically generated profit from day one based off of the model we've done. So we flipped that on its head in a way. We've sacrificed the users for it because we don't have millions of users, but we have a business that's, consistently grown hand over fist, if you will, over the past 4 years.
That pretty much sums up how we've bootstrapped the business, because instead of like going out and saying to a business, hey, to an investor that we need $1 million to start the business, we basically just went and created $1 million a year business by essentially just leveraging
in 4 days.
By leveraging the affiliate model. So it does have its downsides, but because of that, we pretty much were able to start operating essentially. And it was small when we started. Like we had a little tiny office, and
I mean, as well, if you think about the platform, just imagine what that was like at that time. Because when I look back on that now, I think, God, we almost released something that the animations at the time, I mean, it was groundbreaking in what it did, but some of the animations weren't great, but it was just the fact that that's all it could do at the time. And what we were able to do with doing this event and generating a significant amount of money, it's almost like we generated our own seed money, which then allowed us in the two major benefits of this was the seed money then allowed us to go and build a better product, a version 2, which we then launched in June. But the other thing as well is we had actual real users that had paid for the product, that were using the product, that in some ways were loving the product and telling us how great things were, but were also telling us how bad some of the things were, and that allowed us to essentially build what became Viddyoze 2.0, and we've obviously improved it since then. And I think if you have an MVP and you're after investment, and the users you've got in there are free users, so they're not really valuing it that much, they're not using it as much or as aggressively as they would if they'd paid for it, or you're giving it to friends and family to test out, you're never going to get real feedback, are you? That for me was some of the biggest benefits we've had by doing it this way.
Yeah, like there's obviously businesses that are able to afford to do the free trial thing, but we basically put in our own food money.
Yeah,
like,
pretty much.
essentially,
Yeah,
like this is money we would spend on our rent, mortgages, cars, bills, and whatever else. Like we had to make sure that we were actually going to be able to do those things whilst running the business. We didn't have jobs and things like that. So, and that's what we're doing now. Like we're still doing it now.
Yeah.
We've had conversations with investors and things like that because we do get a lot of interest because of the size we've grown to by ourselves. But we're still doing what we've done from day one. And over the years, we've really leveraged the affiliate model like long term as well. Because I think once the launch is over, what a lot of people kind of fall into is like, like now what basically?
Yeah.
Like how do I now go and do more money? How do I like grow my business now?
Yeah.
And we did struggle with that for a while. It was like we weren't entirely sure.
No.
How to
Well,
get
we
the
went
next
through
step.
the event cycle, didn't we? Probably the first couple of years of the business, or 18 months at least, it was all built on. I mean, because we were able to generate, $450,000 in 4 days, and then $1 million annual recurring revenue, is a lot of money, and you can sustain off that. And we were able to build version 2, which we launched. Essentially, we did the same thing. So the event we talked about, we basically just repeated that in June 2016, but built newer features, newer animations at the time, all of that.
Yeah. It's almost like an iPhone. Like,
Yeah.
people, like Apple will go and release the iPhone 10 or whatever they're on. I don't even know where they're at now. And then
I think it could be 11, now.
11,
Yeah.
right? And then, in a year, they'll go and release the exact same phone, but the old phone's basically redundant now because the new one does all these new things.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what we've done with Viddyoze, is like we've just added new things, not necessarily features in that the product's more complex, but more like
Template style
Yeah.
was what was easier for us to do.
yeah, it's like technology. Like, so one of the times we did it, it was like we allowed people to start creating alpha animations, which are, it's not like a logo animation. It's more, you could actually overlay an animation on top of a video. So it's like a transparent animation,
Yeah.
basically. So it's like, it did the same thing. It's just that it did a different type of thing, but the same speed, the same way that it worked before.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how we basically started to leverage that model and done it a couple of times to essentially recycle the same model. And the good thing is, when you do it a second time, you've still got all the same affiliates. So you've got the same, all the work you've done the first time round
Yeah.
pretty much applies the second time because it's the same product. You can use the same marketing and just change it up a little bit.
Yeah, and I think the affiliates as well, Viddyoze is a great product. So it isn't just about, the commissions and the affiliate contests. And I know, listening to this, you may think, oh, well, there's a lot of money being put up there. Affiliates are selling it but Viddyoze is a great product. So we knew if we just delivered an even better Viddyoze, those that had already told all of their followers, all of their newsletter subscribers, their membership site users, whatever, that they would promote it again. They would promote it again just because we had so many users they'd already promoted to that we use in the product.
Yeah.
So it just works. I think that model 100% works really, really well. It just can be stressful, especially on the event. Think about some of the events we've had, what's happened with ours.
Yeah.
The first one, how long was it before it went down?
like a
The
minute,
app, yeah.
probably like a minute or something. I don't even know if it was that. I don't even know.
I
If
still
it was
have
live.
nightmares of that screen. Something went wrong, and
Yeah,
all it
it's
is
funny
a
'cause
little box on the
in
screen.
the last episode, David was sat there saying he's getting palpitations as he's thinking about Sebastian. Sorry, the developer,
Yeah.
not showing up for for the.
Was
for
that the
event.
one? Because I think we've got footage somewhere as well, haven't we? Where it's like you're gonna have to clear the render queue, and David sat there, and you can just see he slumps down as if to say, I give up. I
Face
have
in
no
palms,
idea
yeah.
what's going on anymore.
We had a lot of face in palm moments like during a lot of these events, and like I did a lot of the content stuff for the first for all the releases we've done, and like one of the issues we've had is because we're not coders or developers or whatever, like you got to basically have the app kind of operational and working for me to go and like create content and stuff.
Yeah.
So it got that close to the wire with the first videos we were doing that it was literally like trying to create content on the last day,
Yeah.
like before we were going live.
And with JVs as well, like or affiliate partners, they want access to it because, of course, if they're promoting it to their people that trust them, their subscribers, their newsletter subscribers, whatever, they're saying as it's called in the industry that we were in, it's review access, and we have to give access to these partners. And not only do we know there's some things that still need sorting out with the platform, but you've got partners that are coming here and saying and messaging you on Skype or whatever saying, look, I'm trying to create a product, I'm trying to create this video, I want to show my users how amazing this is, but the product's not working, nothing's working, or this isn't working, or whatever. It becomes a chaotic.
It's definitely
chaotic
stressful.
time.
Like if you look at some people might know Steam, like Steam games.
Yeah.
They have the Greenlight program for new game developers, and what they'll do is like a developer can basically choose to put a game on the platform, and they can charge for beta access basically.
Yeah.
So you're buying a game that essentially isn't
100%.
Yeah, it's not all there. We kind of did the same thing.
Yeah.
It's like we knew the product wasn't what it was fully gonna be, what it is now. We just had a vision for it, and it's like, right, buy it now, and just watch us kind of develop it. And everybody that did buy from day one, we've still literally got customers now who've been paying us every single month because we give them amazing stuff every month, and the product's just evolved so much.
Yeah, I think if you look at you mentioned earlier on the funnel, the front end, and then you have the template club upsell. That template club upsell on that very first launch, I think, just gave users an extra 15 or 30 templates. Could have been 30, which is nothing. And so they're paying in reality now. It's nothing. Like now we have those people that paid that $37 to upgrade on that very first launch, got an extra 30 templates. Now have access to over 1,500 or whatever it is now.
Yeah.
So it has evolved massively.
Yeah, it's mad, really.
Yeah.
But I think what we're trying to get across here is like, if you are brand new and you're sat there thinking like, oh man, like I need to run Facebook traffic, I need to run YouTube ads and all of this stuff, like, and you're trying to run it on $5 a day, like a very tiny budget that's not even going to move the needle. Like you might make sales and stuff, but it's probably going to take you 6 months to make $100,000, or maybe probably even more.
Yeah.
You could just leverage the affiliate model, like, and just probably do $50,000, $60,000, $70,000 in much less time.
Yep.
And you'll probably be a lot more comfortable.
Yeah, and I think finding affiliate partners isn't actually that hard. You've definitely got to put yourself out there. You're not going to find you're not going to find 1,000 affiliate partners that will blow up a launch of your product for you by just sitting and doing nothing and maybe listing your product on JVZoo or an affiliate network like ClickBank.
Yep.
You need to be out there, almost like a salesperson, finding people. Whatever your business is, whether you're selling software, whether you have a training product that targets a specific type of niche or industry, there will be people out there that can help you sell that. An example of that as well, going way before video, so it's not just about our affiliate network. When me and David basically have Mabellio, the Mabellio I talked about in the first episode, it was a mobile and loyalty coupon creator. And we thought, right, we need to sell this to businesses that have essentially could benefit from these loyalty programs. So one of the industries we thought about, because David's dad is one of them, is a driving instructor. We thought, well, driving instructors are perfect. They've got the phones. They're students that generally take tests are between the ages of 17, as it is in the UK, upwards to maybe 24 generally. So they're young, they've all got smartphones, whatever.
Yeah.
We thought, well, let's see if we can tackle that industry. Now, we had no links in. David's dad was a driving instructor, but we didn't have any links in through him. But we reached out, and this is how easy it can be. We reached out on LinkedIn, I believe it was at the time, to a few driving instructor associations. So the associations out there, and there's one for pretty much every industry you can find. Just Google your industry, and you might be in it right now. We basically reached out to some of the top people there and just said, look, we've got this product. We think driving instructors will really benefit from it.
Yeah.
Can we come and show you it? And then we ended up having a meeting with one of the bosses there and basically showed this product. He loved it. And we basically set up a little partnership model with them. Exactly the same thing. Because we'd taken our experience from the affiliate market that we were in with software and digital products and took it into there and said, look, we'll pay you X amount every time a driving instructor signs up via your website or newsletter. And we got that deal done. And that just goes to show it. You might be listening thinking, well, I don't have a software program. I've got a course that teaches people how to become a vet or how to become a better barber or whatever it might be. There are sites, newsletters. I mean, even more so now than ever. You think of YouTube. How many influencers on YouTube have got your audience? Tons and tons. All it takes is a quick email, a quick message, just say, look, this is what I've got. Can I show you it? And then come up with a deal that benefits you both. That's basically how easy it can be.
It's funny you mentioned the YouTubers, because I think YouTube influencers probably underestimate how much money they could really make if they actually leveraged like what they've got there.
Yeah.
Like the amount of affiliate pull they would have, the amount of like content they could get out, like they could make so much more money relying on their actual information than
the ads.
Platform.
Yeah, 100%. You kind of see a few of them doing it now as well. I mean, again, I mentioned earlier, we're kind of all big gamers here in some ways, not professional gamers, but like hobbyists. And I watch a lot of gaming channels on YouTube, and was playing a game. I've kind of gone off the game a bit now, FIFA, which everybody will know, especially if you're a football fan, soccer in the US. And I watched a ton of videos on FIFA and all these different things, like what people were doing, all gaming channels. And almost every single one of them that I watched, basically at the beginning of their video, they were sponsored by, is it Elgato Gaming? It's like screen grab capture software or whatever. And every single one of them was sponsored by this. So what Elgato had done there, or whoever owns that, had gone to all of these influencers and thought, well, people watching those channels are our target audience. They're going to want to make their own YouTube channels like this. Let's just sponsor every single one. That is an affiliate deal there, but just probably in a different context. That's how easy it can be as well.
Yeah, literally. So, yeah, I think the main takeaway for this episode really is leveraging, or at least trying to explore the idea of using an affiliate network or an affiliate model to see what's possible. A good thing you could do as well is if you just go on, if you're like brand new and you don't even know if your market would work, just go to clickbank.com and check out the marketplace.
Yeah.
Because you'll see the ridiculous amount of products and like ideas that people have, all the way down to like pigeon racing.
Yeah, and woodworking products,
survival, like doomsday prepping.
Build your own chicken coop, all of that.
Yeah, honestly, it's like ridiculous the stuff people are selling on there. But I know there's a lot of people making millions of dollars like with those kinds of products. So I think one of the people that work in our business, they work in Viddyoze now, but they used to be an affiliate, and they used to sell affiliate products on the ClickBank network. And one of the ones they used to sell was a survival product. It was about basically building like your own like kind of survival shed in your house or something, which is on ClickBank. And I think they were doing like 1,000 units a day, like 1,000 sales a day, like evergreen all the time at the time they were selling it.
Insane numbers that.
Like we're not even doing that.
No.
Like it's like insane how many affiliates are actually on that network. So that's just a tip anyway, just for anybody that wants to actually explore that idea.
Yeah, there's always going to be people that will happily sell your product and will be happy to promote it. It's just the action you've got to take is you've got to get out there and and basically reach out to people, just send them messages, get on calls. Don't be afraid to demo your products and show. And essentially, think about it as well in the sense that you're helping them, provide a solution to their users. Because on our flip side, and again, we'll get into this definitely in another episode, is although we have a product, we also have been and still are affiliates ourselves for other people's products, and have promoted a ton of products over the years to our audience and done huge numbers. And the reason we do that is not just because, we're doing a deal and there's, we all make money. It's we look for products, or we get approached, all the time with products. We look for products that we really find benefit not just our business, but will benefit our users as well. So, and again, it builds a bigger trust between us and our users when we show them other products outside of just what Viddyoze is that can help them, whether it's make better videos, become better marketers, whatever it is. And we'll get into that in another time of what we look for in products to promote as well, because that's probably going to be helpful for those out there looking for affiliates.
Should we wrap it up there?
Yeah, I'd say so. We're about 40 minutes, I reckon.
Let's do it though. Is there anything you want to add?
No, because I think this has probably gone down the road of affiliates, hasn't it? So we've done a lot of affiliate stuff on that.
All right, cool. I'll do like a CTO.
Do you want to talk about the mystery prize or anything on this mystery box? No, we'll do it after the fact.
I think we should just do it. Yeah, once we know who's actually winning, we'll do it then. Cool. So that's pretty much it for today's episode. I hope you guys have enjoyed listening to this and taken something away from it. If you did enjoy it, make sure you subscribe to this podcast and listen in every week with new amazing content we're going to have. And if you do want to check out what we do at Viddyoze, just head over to viddyoze.com. That's VIDDYOZE.com. And we'll be happy to serve you with amazing video content.